Okay. We've got to say it a little bit slowly because this is the first time we are going to be saying it. The Vancouver Canucks have defeated the Chicago Blackhawks 5-2, dominating the Hawks. Honestly, like 46 shots to 14, the Vancouver Canucks dominated. And, you know, we're going to start off slowly, but we're going to get up to rhythm here. Say it with me now. Walk it like Rick Tocchet. Walk it like Rick. Okay, it's so cringe. I can't do it, but like, Bruce, there it is. I feel like that might be the new thing. But either way, the Vancouver Canucks under new head coach Rick Tocchet have won their first game. They're at a 100% winning percentage under the new coach, and this means they're going to make the playoffs, right? Nah, just kidding. I mean, of course, if you're a Canucks fan that is looking to make the playoffs, a result like this is a good one, but I think a lot of Canucks fans recently have gotten that wake-up call that the team is so far out of the race that trying to contend for a spot right now would just be a little bit dangerous. But either way, the team goes out there, has a great game against a very bad team in Chicago. This Blackhawks team is one of the worst in the NHL, and the Canucks took advantage of that. Early, right up front, and in your face. They had themselves a boatload of scoring opportunities and shots right at the start of the game. Unfortunately, though, the Canucks don't end up getting one to go until partway through the second, but either way, the Canucks started this one off with a boatload of power plays. The Canucks opened the game up on the man advantage pretty much. They did not score. A fan threw their jersey on the ice, which, I mean, look, based off of everything that's happened the past little while, it's understandable to see why, but of course, doing it in the first few minutes of the new game under the new coach doesn't really give off a great look to Canucks fans, but either way, the Canucks then get themselves another power play. It's a 4-minute double minor. They don't score on this one either. One thing about the power play in this game, honestly, I thought that it looked pretty good. The zone time, the pressure, the overall chances they had, you could definitely tell the Canucks power play is still potent. It's just they couldn't get one to go in this game. They went 0 for 5, and that really is not an ideal situation if you're a team like Vancouver that's quote-unquote trying to remain competitive still. But either way, despite all the time on the power play, they still looked good, although they didn't get any results. But you know how I said that the Canucks came out and they really gave it to Chicago early? Yeah, in the first 9 minutes of the first period, they had 12 shots, and then you had yourselves Luke Schenn get himself a breakaway, because that happens all the time now, doesn't it? Just kidding. He came out of the box after the Canucks killed off a penalty, and Schenn had a breakaway. It was stopped by Mrazek. He shot it right into the glove. There is your entertainment value here for tonight's game. And the Canucks just continued to lay the shots on, get the opportunities. Petr Mrazek was stopping them all. The shots on goal with 2 minutes to go in the first were 20-6 Vancouver, but it's none other than Patrick Kane who scores by lobbing a puck towards the goal from the very far slot. He's like at the blue line pretty much. He just throws it towards the goal. It goes by everybody. I think it might have hit a Canuck in front, but it's 1-0 at the end of the first, despite the Canucks dominating everywhere else other than the goals. As the second goes on, though, the Canucks have their opportunities. Andrei Kuzmenko hits a post. They're still not converting on their power plays, but at around the halfway mark of the second, it's that Andrei Kuzmenko who scores to tie it up. It's Petey who drives to the goal. Mikheyev ends up throwing the follow-up on goal, and Andrei Kuzmenko is right there, pouncing on the second rebound, dragging it around Mrazek, and flipping it up and over the pad. With 13 minutes left in the second period, it is 1-1. Halfway through the game in general, the shots on goal are 30-7, but the score is still tied at 1. You had yourself some more interesting moments in this one too. Patrick Kane was completely taken out by Dakota Joshua, who had to fight Domi in retaliation. The Canucks got another power play as a result, but they still couldn't score. And then you had yourselves the 8th shot of the game for Chicago, which was kind of hilarious, as Sam Lafferty comes right down the wing, cuts through the middle, shoots it perfectly 5-hole, and it beats Colin Delia. There are 7 minutes left in the second period. It's 2-1 Chicago, and it's on their 8th shot of the game. Like, bro, Colin Delia, you could give him the pass for the first goal where Patrick Kane threw it and nobody saw it, but like, this Lafferty shot, man, slipping it right there, 5-hole, come on, dude. But fear not, because the Kuzmeister strikes right back. My fantasy team thanks Andrei Kuzmenko so much because Kuzmenko scores again off a Pettersson centering feed, and Kuzi is right there in the slot to tip it by McCabe. Very great play by Pettersson to steal the puck and dance in the zone before making the pass. The period ends off 2-2, and I'm a happy camper because my fantasy team, I'm being beaten by Audie James this week. As I had been talking about the previous little while here, I'd been kind of losing some matchups because Bo Horvat stopped scoring. More on him later, but today, Patrick Kane, Kuzmenko getting the goals, good on them, and good for my team as well. But third period starts out, and this is where things get fun for Walk It Like I Talk It. Migos over here, you had yourselves Dakota Joshua, who pounces on a rebound on a 2-on-1 as Brock Besser has a beauty drive to the net. He's not able to pull the trigger, so he centers it back, and it's Dakota Joshua right there who puts it in the open cage. Max Domi hits Dakota Joshua right after, and he falls on Mrazek as a result. Mrazek looks hurt. They had to get the trainer out there, but he didn't end up leaving the game. He stuck around in there. But no matter, it's Dakota Joshua who makes it 3-2 Vancouver. It's their first lead of the game for the Canucks with 8 minutes to go in the third period. A few minutes after that, it's JT Miller with a rush down the wing, centering feed for Dries. It's Garland who ends up getting the rebound down low, and he throws it out off the goalie, and Dries goes through the legs on the second rebound, making it 4-2 Vancouver 34 seconds after the Dakota Joshua goal. And then you had yourselves the Horvat empty netter, 31st goal of the year. My fantasy team thanks you so much, Bo, because he's finally scoring again. He ties his career high in goals from last season, and it takes him like 30 fewer games. Bo's going out there and getting back up on the board. Thank you, Rick Tocchet, for getting this guy his goal production back. And the Vancouver Canucks have won themselves a game. Now, does this make up for all the crap that we had seen as a fan base, how this team treated Boudreau, etc., etc.? Probably not. I mean, you played one of the worst teams in the league, and you won, rightfully so, as you probably deserve to have won. But just seeing the effort out there, just seeing that this team had a little bit of a bump in their step, seeing Kuzmenko get 2 goals. He's got 20 on the year now. Very good for him. Bo Horvat, of course, getting his 31st on the season is kind of mind-blowing. And then Patrick Kane and Lafferty getting on the board too for Chicago, boosting up the fantasy points there. I don't have Lafferty. I do have Kane, though, so that was nice to see. Dakota Joshua finally getting some offense once again. Besser, Hughes getting assists on that play as well. You had Luke Shen with multiple assists in this one, so good on him. And Colin Delia, although he was the worst of the 2 goalies, statistically speaking, he had an .857 save percentage. Meanwhile, Mrazek had a .915. I mean, Delia made some saves when he needed to. Sure, the goals he let in weren't the best, but there still were some chances that I thought were very well played off by him. Mrazek actually looked pretty good in this game, not gonna lie. Despite the fact that he did let in a few towards the end there, he was a pretty good player. Just taking a look at the sample from this game, Canucks, as we had said, went over 5 on their power plays. They gotta do better than that. This team, they look really good on the power play sometimes, but they just cannot get it to go. Chicago was over 3 on the power play, so unfortunate for them they couldn't get it by Delia. But either way, talk to the console your thoughts about Walk It Like I Talk It right there. First game, first win. Perfect record so far. The Canucks are going to make the No, just kidding. I'm not going to say that. That sentence is kind of damning for anybody who goes out there and hears it. But the Canucks actually won themselves a game. It's good to see for Canucks fans just getting some hope in the building, actually providing some entertainment out there. But long term, I think I would still prefer the team to go and boost their Connor Bedard draft stock. But either way, thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks versus the Blackhawks. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.